Around 3% of all sailors throughout history claim to have seen it. A spectral ship defying the laws of nature. This isn't just a sailor's superstition. A whispered tale spun in the dark holds of a creaking vessel. The legend of the Flying Dutchman is a myth woven into the very fabric of maritime lore. A terrifying specter that has haunted the treacherous waters around the Cape of Good Hope for centuries. For some, the sight of its tattered sails and ghostly lights is merely a trick of the fog, or a hallucination born of isolation and fear. But for others, it's a chilling premonition, a harbinger of disaster, and a stark reminder of the ocean's unforgiving power. Our story begins in the 17th century, a golden age of exploration and trade, but also an era of immense peril for those who dared to challenge the vast, unknown oceans. Ships were the lifeblood of nations, and their safe passage was paramount. The Dutch East India Company, or VOC, dominated global trade. Their massive merchant fleets traversed the globe, laden with spices, silks, and riches, facing down pirates, storms, and the sheer unpredictability of the open sea. One such ship, the legendary Flying Dutchman, was said to be commanded by a captain named Willem van der Decken. A man of iron will, and perhaps, according to some accounts, an unshakable arrogance that would prove to be his undoing. The specific details of Van der Decken's final, fateful voyage vary wildly depending on the teller. Some say he was bringing precious cargo back to Amsterdam. Others claim he was racing against time, desperate to make port. What nearly all versions agree upon, however, is the setting, the infamous Cape of Good Hope. A place of breathtaking beauty, yes, but also a graveyard for countless ships, where the Atlantic and Indian Oceans clash in a maelstrom of currents and storms. As Van der Decken's ship approached the Cape, a furious gale descended. The sky turned black, the waves swelled into mountains, and the wind howled like a banshee, threatening to tear the vessel apart. His crew, terrified, begged him to turn back to seek shelter in a nearby cove. But Van der Decken reportedly refused. He was a man possessed, driven by an unholy determination to round the Cape, no matter the cost. In some tellings, he made a blasphemous vow, swearing he would round the Cape even if it took him until doomsday. Others claim he challenged God himself, or the devil, to stop him. Whatever his exact words, they sealed his fate. The ship, caught in the tempest, was said to be swept away, or perhaps swallowed by a rogue wave, vanishing without a trace. But the story doesn't end there. Instead, it begins. For the Flying Dutchman and its cursed captain were doomed to sail the oceans forever, never making port, never finding rest. The first recorded sighting of the Flying Dutchman emerged in the late 17th century, just decades after its supposed disappearance. Sailors, often exhausted and prone to vivid imagination, would report seeing a ghost ship, but these weren't just fleeting glimpses. The Dutchman was often described in chilling detail, a ship under full sail, even in the calmest weather or sometimes with tattered sails, appearing against the wind. Its lights glowed with an eerie, otherworldly luminescence, and sometimes the faint sounds of its crew could be heard, ghostly voices calling out to passing ships, or the mournful creak of its timbers. The most famous account comes from 1881, when the future King George V, then a young Prince of Wales, was serving on HMS Bacchante. He, along with several officers and crew, logged a sighting of the phantom vessel. Their log entry detailed a bright red light, later identified as the Flying Dutchman, appearing off their bow. A chilling account, corroborated by multiple witnesses, that cemented the legend in official naval records. There are, of course, rational explanations offered for these sightings. Optical illusions like Fata Morgana, where light bends through different air temperatures, can create inverted or distorted images of distant objects. Fog, too, plays tricks on the mind, especially when combined with the isolation and exhaustion of long voyages. The shifting shapes in the mist, the eerie silence, all contribute to a heightened sense of unease. But what about the specific details? The tattered sails, the glowing lights, the ghostly crew. These elements speak to a deeper human need, to explain the unexplainable, to personify the dangers of the sea. The Flying Dutchman isn't just a ghost ship. It's a powerful metaphor for humanity's struggle against the raw, untamed forces of nature. A warning against hubris, against challenging powers beyond our comprehension. It's a tale that reminds us that even with all our technology, all our advancements, the ocean remains a realm of mystery, capable of swallowing ships whole and leaving behind only legends. The next time you gaze out at the vast, shimmering expanse of the sea, remember Van der Decken. Remember the Flying Dutchman, and wonder just for a moment what other spectral secrets lie hidden beneath the waves, to explore more chilling maritime myths and the real-life disasters that inspired them. Click on the video appearing now.